everyone. I'm back with another terrific Tuesday card. My name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the small rural town of Keensburg, Colorado. Pardon me. Today we're going to be doing a card that we'll be doing on Saturday at my Stamp-A-Stack. But before I get started with that, I'd like to show you a couple of things that I've been really working on. Most of my regular students and customers and friends know that I do craft shows in the fall. And also here in our little town, we have a mercantile store where they feature all kinds of homemade items and gifts. And so I've been working really hard trying to get ready for my craft show and to replenish my table at the mercantile store. So here's something that I made last year, and it was a complete fail. I didn't sell any of them. 2 or 3 years ago, Stampin' Up! Had these little coffin boxes, and you just decorated them, filled them however you wanted. So last year, I just had them filled with, I think, little packs of M&Ms or something like that. This year, I saw, I think on Pinterest or YouTube, I'm sorry, I don't know where, but somebody had taken a Kit Kat bar and used cheesecloth and turned it into a little mummy. And so I decided, I'm going to give that a try, and I did. My first go round, I made 13 of these. I took them down to the mercantile. Within 2 days, I had sold all 13 of them. And the lady now wants 13 more. So I have made about 30 of these in the last week and a half. I think I'm done for this year. I do still have some coffin boxes, but I'm going to save them for next year. And then I'm also making these little boxes. And these boxes hold a 2-ounce hand sanitizer. These are very popular, and I sell quite a few of them, and I just make the boxes and decorate them in different colors. I love the way this one turned out with the Highland Heather. So that's what's been keeping me busy, plus getting ready for our Stamp-A-Stack. I want to thank everybody that registered. I only have 2 spaces left. If anybody's interested, give me a shout out, and we'll get you on the list, and we'll have our full class. So here's the cards that we're going to make today, and this will also be done on Saturday. We've done this card layout with the DSP before, and if you look at this, you can see the only difference is one, the green's on the top, and the other one, the green's on the bottom, and we just cut our paper this way. So this is the card we're going to be making, and it just says Christmas begins with Christ. So what we're using today for our cards are the Peaceful Deer bundle. This is actually in the mini catalog, and it is on page 26, and it includes if you want the bundle, it's the stamp set and the punch. And I just like the way the deer look, and you can put antlers on it, and then your punch will punch out the deer, and you can put antlers on that. And so that we're going to be using. And then this is a stamp set that carried forward from last year. I like to have inspirational Christian verses in the inside of my cards, because for me, Christmas is all about Jesus. And so this is for Unto Us, and we're going to be using this stamp set right here, this stamp right here for our greeting on the inside. We'll also be using, these punches are retired, but I still keep them. I'm going to use a 1.5 inch and a 2 1/4 inch circle punch. And for the dies to cut out our greeting on the front of our card, we're using the stitched rectangles, and we'll be using the smallest one right here. And we will also be using some champagne rhinestones. So to get started in our packet, now remember, Stamp-A-Stacks are a little bit different because you do 2 cards of every, I do 4 designs, and you make 2 cards of each design. So this packet has a little more material in it than we would normally have. You'll have 2 card bases. I chose to use Evening Evergreen and Real Red. You will have 2 you'll have 2 envelopes. You'll have 2 pieces of basic white. These are 4 by 5 1/4. These are for the insides of your card. You will have 2 pieces of basic black, and these are, let's see, what are these? These are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And again, you have 2 because, as I said, we're making 2 cards. You have 2 pieces of designer series paper. These are cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and we'll be cutting these down so you can get 2 cards. You'll have a couple of strips of basic white that we're going to be stamping our greeting on. You'll have the punches and the paper to cut out your circles, and I've already done that to save a little bit of time. You'll have a couple of strips of some kind of glimmer paper. This happened to be from Celebration. It was called Bedazzling, but it's no longer available, but we're going to use it up. And then you will have 2 little deer. These came out of a designer series pack of paper that was free in the Celebration, and I earned quite a few packs, so therefore we're gonna use some of these up. And these will punch out with the punch. However, some of them are going the different direction, and I wanted to use all of them, and I was not going to punch out all those deer. So I used my trusty scan and cut to cut these out. Save me a lot of work and save time. So let's get started we'll start off first with our designer series paper. And oh, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to run and get my trimmer. I forgot to bring it in here. Okay, we have actually made this card layout before. I think we did the penguin paper, but what you do is you take a little ruler, and from the top right hand corner you go down 1.5 inches and you make a little tick mark, and in the bottom left hand corner you go up 2.5 inches and make a tick mark. I'm not sure if you can even see let me see if I can pick it up. Here's my tick mark here, and my other one is right up here. And then what you do is you put both of these together. Now you want to make sure that you have the pattern that you want to show facing up like this, okay? And then you're going to take your trimmer. Again, I'm using my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and this is our cutting channel right along here. You're going to take the top tick mark and you're going to place it in your cutting channel, and then you're going to turn it down. Try to keep both of your pieces together as tightly as you can. It won't matter too much because you're cutting them both at the same time. And then you take the bottom one and put it. So I have one here and I have one right there. And then all you do is, that's my scoring blade. I don't need that. I want to cut. So you just go up and you cut. And that's all there is to the paper cutting there. It's really not difficult at all. And so then what happens is you end up with pieces like this, and all you do is on this one we'll do this. Better get my little deer out of here so I don't lose them. And on this one you put the red at the top. So I'm only going to make 1 card because you put them together exactly the same way, so there's no need for me to do 2. So today I'm just going to be doing 1. So then you have this. You will take your basic black layer. Did I say that right? Basic black layer. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. And we are going to glue this on, these designer series papers, onto our basic black. And I'm going to see how much glue I have left in here. Oh, I still have quite a bit. Now you have a very narrow border on this, just about 1/8 of an inch. So you want to be a little bit careful about how you place it so you get your border. Try to keep it as close as you can and as even on the side and the bottom as you can, okay? I'm having a little trouble getting used to the view on my new laptop and stuff because it seems like I don't have as much room to stay in the filming area so that I'm on camera. Then you'll put glue on your red piece and you'll just line it up with your green piece. Now, if you have too much of a margin at the top, you could split these a little bit because you're going to be covering it up with the strip that we have. So let me get something that I can wipe my excess glue on. I thought I brought I did. So this little tool is pretty handy for taking off the glue. I have more tools. I'm a tool junkie, in case you all didn't know that. Okay, so there's that. Then we will take our piece of sparkly paper And again, we're just going to take this and we're going to glue it down. And I made it longer so that you would have plenty of space to put to cover your seam here. And you just kind of center it, and if you can, and just get it on there. And I'm going to let this dry just a little bit before we go too far with that. So while that's drying, I think we will work on our inside layer. You have 2 strips of paper like this that we're going to be stamping the Merry Christmas on in black. Memento Black is the only ink color that we're using. I don't think I told you that when I was showing you everything we're going to be using. I always like to have a bit of a spongy pad when I have a photopolymer set. And we're just going to stamp this down, hold it for a few seconds, raise it up, and put my lid back on my glue so that I don't have a mess like I'm so apt to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this smallest die from the rectangle dies, and we're going to place it on here, and we're going to run it through our Stampin' Emboss cut machine. And I've already done that because I didn't want to bring my machine in here, although I could have done this on my small one, but I've already, excuse my arms ladies, everything's out of reach for me today. I've already done that. So we're also going to take this, and this is the only, and we're going to pop this up, but what we're going to do, we're going to put it over another piece that's popped up. So I'm only going to put dimensionals on the far end, right end of this piece right here. Okay, and we'll put that off to the side because we're done with that. Okay, for the inside, I have our greeting on our Stamparatus. And we'll be stamping that, and I have a sheet of basic white. We will take our black Memento glue, and we will just ink this up. And as usual with the Stamparatus, if we don't get a really good image the first time, we can always go back. And I did not bring my Debbie tool in, so actually that's pretty good. So we'll take that off. Of course, when you come to stamp a stack, you're doing 2 cards. You'll stamp both of these at the same time. Okay, we can get this over to the side. And then the other little thing that I did, and I also did it on our, let me find my envelope. I have this little deer, and we're just going to ink this up. Let me see. Did I show you the inside? I don't think I did. So I just, actually, almost forgot. I did it on our little circles that I punched out. Let me find the circles. So for the inside, and then you'll need one for the front. And so for the inside, I took this. Now this paper does have the deer on it, so you want to make sure they're, oops, gonna fly away, deer, that you have the right, they're going up and down the correct way. And then you're just gonna stamp this little deer right on there. Now for the envelope, I stamped the deer in the corner. And then I stamped the Merry Christmas. Whoops, didn't quite get that one, but it'll work. Okay. And then on this one, so then we'll go back to our inside piece. I believe I'm done with the ink, so I'm covering it and getting it out of the way. Excuse me just a moment. I have to have a little drink of water. All of a sudden I got really thirsty. It's a beautiful warm day here. You would never know that it's fall. I think it's going to be almost 80 today. So then we'll take the little round with the deer, and again, we'll just put this on our layer. Just dress up the inside, tie it to the front of our card a little bit. We will take a card base. We'll fold it in half. Burnish it with our bone folder. And we'll put this down on the inside. Okay. You have a little bigger border. You have your normal 1/4 of an inch on this particular layer, so you don't have to be quite as careful putting it down. Okay, so there's the inside. Now we can go back to working on our front piece, which, where did I stick it? Oh, it's right here. Oh, sorry. It is here somewhere in all this mess. I'm not used to having 2 cards to work on at the same time. Here we go. Okay, so we now have this. So all we're going to do is take our scissors and we're going to trim off our little glittery strip here, even with the black. We will take this and put it on the front of our card. Again, you have just an 1/8 of an inch border, so that's why I'm using the green cap glue, or the Tombow liquid glue, just because it lets me slide things around a little bit. You want to make sure you get it in the correct orientation when you put it on the front. And try and get it somewhat straight. Okay. Okay. There's not much more to this card. Then we take our larger strip, and we're going to take one of our little deer, and we're going to take our, again, I'm using the liquid glue, and we're going to put our little deer onto the circle. Now, if you don't want the white frame around your deer like I have here, you can always turn it over. Let me see if I can pick this up and show you. Sure we can. Okay, if you don't want this little white area around here, then you just turn it over and you have a completely solid deer. I kind of like the white. I do need to recalibrate my Scan and Cut because it is not giving me the same margin all the way around. I have a little more white on the bottom part than I do the top, but it's okay for this, I think. Okay, so then I did pop this one up. So we're going to take some dimensionals and just put a few dimensionals around. Put one in the middle, and I did one top and bottom and the sides. Okay, and we'll take our pokey tool and we'll get all of these off. I am going to try my best to get another video this week so that I can show you all 4 cards that we'll be doing on Saturday. I've already done the first one, which was a month ago, I think, and it was the gray cabin. And then there's this one, and then I have 2 more quick ones to do. So there's our little deer piece. Now, as I said, we're going to take the dimensionals off of here. And since part of this is going to be resting on this that's already been raised, I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and put it here so that it stays down. And then we will, I kind of lined it up with the edge, kind of went over the deer's legs a little bit, tried to get it somewhat straight. and put it down. And then the other thing we have to do is take our little jewels, and we're gonna just put them on there however you would like to put them. They are different. They do have different sizes, so I used the smaller ones to emphasize the Merry Christmas. And that's it. Again, as you know, I like to do uneven numbers, and so I do have 3, and I do have a triangle there. So here's the card that I had for sample. Here's the card that we just made along with an envelope. Well, I'll show you a good stamped envelope. I didn't get that other one stamped so great. Okay, so there we are. So again, this is when we're doing on our Stamp-A-Stack on Saturday. I want to thank all of you who have registered, and we should have a great day. We're going to do a potluck, so if you feel like bringing a dish, please do so, and we will share. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and may God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.